Hey, honey, I know that you're feeling really big emotions right now and that they're all just coming out at once, but I really please need you to listen to Mummy. Can you hear me, darling? Can you try? Can you hear me?
Oh, little people and big emotions. It's bound to happen. It's that season in life when everything just comes right out and we get a tantrum. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about today, tantrums. If you're a parent, then you have probably experienced your child just letting out all their emotions at once, at home or in public. Yes, a tantrum, that intense display of all those feelings, the anger, the frustration, the disappointment, like everything just all at once and they can't contain it, and then bam! Hey, welcome to Learning Life. Thank you so much for joining me today. And yes, I want to look at tantrums. I want to look at how they make us feel, how they make our kids feel, and how we can help them. And when a video like this is helpful for you, please feel free to share it with a friend that it might be helpful for them too. And subscribe, or if you want to see more videos, even join us with Patreon, because we would love to be able to help you and your children. Well, tantrums. Do you experience them in your house? I know we do. We have definitely hit that stage where even though we've got the words to maybe explain how we're feeling, it all just comes out at once. And we have had some doozies lately. Don't even know what the trigger is, or maybe it was like the other night when apparently we didn't know her party plans, but she hadn't told us her party plans. But it was the end of the world and it all just came out. I don't know about you, but tantrums actually can really stress me out, especially if we're in public. How are my girls reacting? Like, are they just going to explode? What are they going to be doing here? Do I want those judgy stares? But even at home, I find myself going, I don't know how to best respond to this. I know what I should be doing, but my girls know when I'm hitting my limit because I tend to sing fa la 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 la. And we know what happens when Mummy hits that fa la la stage. Yeah, things are going to happen that they don't really like. They even know now if I just say, do you want me to sing fa la la? That it's a time that we all need to calm down. It is tough when you are little. It is tough when you can't quite get those words to explain it, and you're actually maybe not even really sure what it is you're feeling. You just know that it is wrong. It is wrong for you, and it is bad, and you are mad, and you just want to get it all out. Well, there's some things that we can do to help that. Yeah, they are. And some of them, they're for us too, because we can't expect our children to be able to handle their emotions and how they feel if we can't. I know sometimes just giving space, they'll throw themselves down on the floor and it's wailing and it's the pounding. And sometimes the best thing to do is to just step away and do not engage. Step away and do not engage. I know that is something that I have problems with because I do want to engage and I want to sort of get to the end of it really quickly, but don't engage. Like, don't sort of reward this behavior by trying to just get in there, because sometimes that attention is what really that they want. And so we're giving them space. We're not engaging. We're letting them calm down. And when we've had that, that's the time to be discussing feelings. We don't in the middle. They're not going to be able to hear us when they're so worked up. I know my Kira is like that. When she is so worked up, she cannot hear you, or she only hears what it is that she really wants to hear. And so finally, when she's calmed down, we can talk about feelings, which is important. We need to know what is going on so that we can help them. They need to know what is going on so that they can help themselves. And then after that, move on. We don't need to dwell on this. Say this to my girls. Okay, we're done. Let's just move on, especially at the end of the night. If it's happened, tomorrow is a new day. We've had to sort of introduce some new things in our family. I have a video where I'm talking about like the teaching of feelings, and for one of them, how we really had to teach her feelings, and like she would grab it into a ball and throw it away. That became farted out. Those are things that we can do to help, like with tantrums. This is our new one, the crappy attitude repellent. This works particularly well for one of my girls. It's just water in a spray bottle. Don't get upset, anybody, please. But for when your child is acting like a turd and you need to get rid of it, we find that she can get so worked up that nothing that we can say or nothing that we can do is actually going to break in, but a quick little spray in the face, is just enough to sort of jolt her out of it. And then we find that we can then move on. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 sprays. And now what she likes to do after she's calmed down, she takes the spray and she goes and sprays all the way around the doors and the windows so that the crappy attitude can't come back in, because she's realized she's let it in and that's not okay. And the crappy attitudes need to go back to crappy attitude world. Hey, it might work for you, a crappy attitude repellent. Yeah, sometimes I do my best creative thinking in the heat of the moment, but it's working really well. But what do we do when we're out in public? Because often it's easier at home because, we don't feel like that the world can see us and are judging us. I do get a little stressed and I do worry or wonder or feel like maybe somebody is judging me for my child's behavior. You know what? And I shouldn't care. I know that I shouldn't because I am trying to help my girls learn and everything. But honestly, I do care when I get those judgy stares. I've actually learned I cannot take my girls shopping when they're hungry or they're tired. These are 2 things that just lead to potential fixation, obsession, but I want this and I am going to stand my ground sort of moments. And so it's having those snacks or, little treats for good behaviors, anything that's going to keep those sugar levels up. And if they're tired, we'll just have to do it another time. But also, we actually have some really big talks before we go in. So we're going into the shops and we're around people. Do you remember how we behave when we're in public? Do we act like turds? Do people need to see us acting like turds? No, they don't. They want to be able to do shopping without little girls screaming and shouting and just sounding a little selfish sometimes. And so we go in with this, and mummy might say no. You might ask for something and mummy will say no. And what's your response to that? And they're like, okay, mummy. Which is great. So because we're also trying to teach them that you can't just have everything when you want. Gosh, when they were younger, we've had some moments where it's like, you know what? I've just got to leave my groceries right there in the shopping trolley and scoop up the one that's kicking and screaming under my arm and take the other one by the hand and leave, because it's giving that space, getting them out of there. And I've always felt really embarrassed by it. Yes, I know that day that I did get judgy stares. I also know because I had one lady make some rather... Well, how did you put it? Yes. Get your children under control. It's disgusting. I'm like, do you not realize that I'm already stressed and I am so close to singing fa la la in public? You know what? That didn't help. When I see mums whose kids are melting down, I just want to do that Katniss, the Hunger Games. I see you. We are all in this together. You've got this. Well done. What? Don't let this defeat you, because it happens and it does feel defeating. One time, because for one of my girls, the best way sometimes is just to grab her and to hold her. She's always been one that she loved the skin to skin when she was little. And even now when she gets upset, we'll just come and it's almost right there. One time I found myself just sitting, yes, it was Target. Sitting on the floor of Target, just holding her. I had her legs wrapped around me and my arms around her. And I just rocked her and rubbed her back and sang to her and told her amazing things about herself, the things that we know that are true. This behavior is not you. You are powerful. You can do this. I know that you can control yourself, because I feel that those words of encouragement are really important. Hey, I do have another video on that too. But for that moment, I just needed her to know that this was not her and I was okay with it. But let's calm down. And she was able to get out of it. So I've done it at restaurants. I've done this. I'm not afraid to move my child out. Because if my girls do act out in public, even at home, we like to make it right. And that's what we say, you need to make this right. You know what? This behavior wasn't okay. You disrespected that person. You hurt their heart. How can we make it right? And one time we're at the self-checkout and she's just having an attitude and just being loud and obnoxious and stomping. And I'm just like, I just want to get these few things and get out of here. I'm so close. I can do this. But I turned around, I'm like, this is not how we behave in public, is it? Think about it. Get it right. And I was a little short and tense, but I'm like, But she did. She calmed down, and I was able to say, okay, thank you. Thank you so much for calming down. Mummy was feeling a little stressed, but none of these people needed to hear the last 4 minutes of you screaming and stomping. So can you please make it right? And she turned around and she knew, and their sort of head was down and the eyes. And then she looked up at the people and she's like, I'm sorry, you didn't need to hear me act like that. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you, darling. Thank you for making it right. And we got our stuff and we left, and this lady came up to me and she's like, I can't believe you made your child do that. And I'm like, do what? She goes, well, apologize like that. And I'm like, she was just making it right. I mean, none of you deserved to hear her behavior. I mean, she was really offended on behalf of my child. And I'm like actually proud of my child for 1, calming herself down, and 2, making it right. And we've had less and less issues going on into the stores with tantrums right now. And I believe part of that has been preparing before we go in, snacks, all of those things. And they are also getting older. But yeah, tantrums, they happen. I'm sure we'll still get them for quite some time. But it is a season and it will pass, and we don't need to be afraid of them. We really don't. I know I'm learning a lot about myself as like some of these sort of tantrums come along. And so just take that deep breath and give yourself the space if you need it. You know, do not engage if you need it. Because you know what? You're in this together with your kids. We're all in this together as parents. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this helps you when it comes to tantrums. Hey, if you have something that works for you, I would love to know. Just shoot me a comment at the bottom of the video or on the website, learningthis.life. And hey, if you love these videos and you would like to partner with us, you could join us through Patreon. So thank you so much for watching.